Welcome back, Stoner Squad, and welcome to all those new to the channel. My name is DanIsStoned, and thank you for joining me today for another episode of Crusader Kings 3 Academy, the tutorial series for, you guessed it, CK3. In today's episode, we shall be taking a look at the Ruler Council in detail by going through what the different positions on the council actually are and what they exactly do. So without any further ado, let's dive right into the video. First of all, we need to understand what the council in CK3 is. Well, in essence, your council is your inner circle that helps you govern your realm. To see your council, just select the council tab on the right hand side of the screen or press F4 on your keyboard. If you do that, you will now notice that your council is made up of 6 members, each member working to help you in a specific domain. Each council position, apart from that of the consort, so that's the king or queen depending on if your ruler is male or female, has stats that correspond to the said position. For example, your Chancellor should have good diplomacy stats in order to be better at his job, and the Steward good stewardship, the Marshal good military stats, and so on. If it helps, each position is colour-coded to inform you which stat is needed for the required position. Now, each member of the council has 3 actions available to him located on the left side of each portrait, and you can actually make them do what you want them to do. But note, only one action or mission can be active at a time per council member. The actions can be changed at any time by you, of course, and all you need to do is select which one of the 3 you want to choose. Just remember, the better the stats for the corresponding positions, the better the results. Before we go over each position in detail, it's very important to note that you can swap any council member for someone else anytime you like. Just select the arrows next to the position's name to swap, but remember, the individual you fire is not going to like getting his P45, so his opinion of you will be lowered. You also have the issue of powerful vassals to deal with. Now, these vassals have a fist next to their portrait, which essentially means they are more powerful than your average vassal, and as a consequence, they would want positions on the council. If you do not put them on the said council, these powerful vassals immediately take a -40 opinion hit towards you, so be on the lookout for these guys. Now that brief introduction is out the way and we've gone over what essentially the council is, let's dive into detail for each of the 6 positions. So first up we have the queen or king depending on the sex of the ruler. So she or he is a very particular council member, and I like to call him or her the wingman or wingwoman. Her job does precisely what a wingman or woman should do, and that is basically assist the ruler. The consort can assist you by bolstering your stats in any one of the 5 categories, so diplomacy, martial, stewardship, and so on. The increase to your stats depends on hers. For example, if I were to select court intrigue as the assist, Queen Adelgith would add +4 to King Harold's intrigue stat. Just remember, the higher the consort stat in the given category, the higher the increase applied to your ruler. You can change this increase at any time, just click on assist ruler and just swap which ones you want depending on your given situation. Now we move on to the 5 other members. Just remember, the efficiency in each of the 3 possible actions available for each councillor depends on their stat that corresponds to each position. The higher the said stat, the bigger the bonuses and the better chance you'll have of them having positive side effects. However, the opposite is also true. The worse the councillors are, the bigger the chance that a negative side effect happens. So first of all, we have the Archbishop. He is the realm priest in charge of religious affairs. This is a councillor who thrives on the learning stat and can improve religious relations, which increases your monthly piety gain. It also can increase other Catholic theocratic rulers' opinion of you, so religious heads of state, and there is a possible positive side effect of you increasing vassal opinion. You can also convert counties that do not practice your faith, and of course make you claims on neighbouring counties so you have a cause for war. With the fabricate claim option, there is also a small chance that you can claim the entire duchy and not just the county, but this depends on the bishop's learning stat. The higher the learning, the bigger the chance of claiming the whole duchy. Now, on a side note, this particular council member has a very specific opinion mechanic involved in the game, so the bishop needs to have a positive opinion of you to endorse you. If this bishop does not endorse you, the bishop who actually owns or controls most of the ecclesiastic holdings, which are the temples and stuff, he will not pay any levies or taxes towards you. So it is very important you get his opinion up to positive numbers, or otherwise he will not give you any levies or taxes. So just keep that in mind. Up next we have the Chancellor, whose stat of excellent is the diplomacy stat. This dude can work on foreign affairs, which increases your monthly prestige gain, and increases other independent rulers' opinion of you. There are also some side effects possible, such as shortening truces if your Chancellor is competent, but if he is not, he could lead to an enemy getting a claim on one of your counties. It could also reduce your neighbour's opinion of you, and also shorten enemies' truce times with you, so make sure your guy is competent. You can also work internally under the form of domestic affairs, and this does basically what it says on the tin, and increases your vassal's opinion of you by a certain amount per month until it hits a threshold. The threshold depends once again on your Chancellor's diplomacy stat. The higher the stat, the higher the threshold. Once again, there are possible positive and negative side effects associated with this action. His last action is that of integrating titles, which basically lets you integrate land into your realm that is not de jure part of your kingdom. Now let's move on to the Steward, the man in charge of economic affairs, and he thrives on the stewardship stat. He can increase your taxes, increase development in a county, and promote your culture in the said counties that do not follow your culture. This is basically cultural assimilation. Now, a quick word on development. Each county has a development level that ranges from 0 to 100. Each level of development grants the county increased levies, taxes, and supply limit. With the increased development mission, the Steward will over time raise the development of the county you've assigned him in by 1. Next up we have the Marshal, your military advisor, and his stat that corresponds to him is of course the Marshal stat. He can organise levies, which increases your levy size, your garrison size, and increases your reinforcement rate, depending of course on his martial ability. You can also train commanders, which reduces men-at-arms maintenance because they can cost quite a lot, as well as having a chance of finding new commanders for your armies. And finally, you can increase control in your counties, and this is very important. I can't stress how important this is, so let me explain. Each county has a control level that ranges from 0 to 100. At the maximum of 100 control, you have no negative effects on the county. However, drop below that 100 threshold and you will start to have negative modifiers applied to levies and taxes, so keep that control up at all times. The closer you go to 0, the harsher the effects. With the increased control mission active, your marshal will each month increase the control in your county you have assigned him to until it reaches 100. And finally, we have the most devious of all counsellors, the Whisperer of Shadows, the spider whose web ensnares all, and he who hears and sees all, the Spymaster. This dude is in charge of your intrigue, your schemes, and plots. On a quick side note, I did say dude, but the Spymaster is the only position in the council, apart from that of the consort, that can be occupied by a woman. He or she can disrupt schemes, which increases your resistance to plots against you, and increases the chance of you discovering who is doing the said plotting. This is quite useful if you want to find out if someone is killing you. You can also support schemes, which increases your scheme power and success chance. All this basically increases the chance you have of murdering someone, for example, and you can also try to find out secrets, which gives you a monthly chance of learning someone's dark secrets inside your court that you can use as hooks or to blackmail the unfortunate soul whose secrets you have discovered. Well, that's about it for this video, people. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I hope it helped you understand what exactly the council does in CK3. Just remember, the better the stats of your council member in the corresponding positions, the better the bonus and the more likely you will have positive effects instead of negative ones. So that is probably the most important piece of advice I can give you. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit that like button down below. It really does help out. And if you want to see more content just like this, also consider subscribing to the channel. And with that said and done, thanks again for watching, and I'll hopefully catch you all later on for some more CK3 Academy. Bye for now.